Welcome to this brand new edition of If I Ever Live to Be. Today, I'm super excited to have my friend, my Fellowship Atlanta sister in Christ, just all the things, Terri Dukes. She is CEO and founder of All Girls in One. And we're just going to dive into all this goodness today. So, Terri, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm so excited you're
Thank
here.
you. Beautiful.
As I kind of teed it up, we met in Few, so we've been together in Few like 3 years, 2 years, 3 years?
Yes, I think it's been like 2. Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
it's been a
and
minute.
we it
Yes.
has. I feel like so much has changed in 2 years, and every time we have an event or a meeting, you and I just always we're like, "Okay, what's the tea? What's the update? How
Yes.
you doing?"
Yes.
So it was like,
Yes.
"Okay, time
Yes.
time to come on the podcast and share about all that you do." So,
Yeah.
um just to tee it up a little bit more, you're a wife, a mother of 2, and I love kind of the tagline, if I may, of All Girls in One, which is empowering every woman to become her boldest self. And I feel like you, my friend, are just this beautiful, bold woman. So I would just love for you to tell us, like, where All Girls in One got its start and your passion for helping other women feel that same boldness.
Okay. Um, so All Girls in One started in 2016 when I was working at Piedmont Hospital.
Okay.
And I used to be an educator before I started with Piedmont Hospital. So while I was an educator, yeah, I'm a big observer. So I just noticed a lot of little girls would be walking around and some of them they just, looked like they were lacking something. So I one day asked God, how can I be more of a service? And he gave me this wonderful vision and 2025, I kind of just kick-started everything with God. And I know growing up for me, my mother would always instill in me loving myself and accepting me for who God made me. So that's where it kind of derived from. And so my goal is to just make sure everything that my mother gave me, I pour back into the younger generation.
I love that so much. Oh gosh, I've already got 2 places I wanna go with this. Because I feel like so many, young girls grow up to be women, leaders, mothers, wives, best friends, and I really do feel like sometimes it's kind of lost on us the formation that takes place when you're so young, right? Like I really feel and just recently God's really placed on my heart our young women, our young youth. I mean, I just started near the end of last year serving with our middle school girls. And I just kind of got this thought of, if we just catch them when they're younger, and
Yeah.
instill what you're talking about, that relationship with Christ, but also just that love from a mother, right? I think that there are a lot
Yes.
of broken homes, a lot of broken families, that they just don't have that, and that's so important in those formational years. So I'd love for you to just share a little bit more about that and how you've seen, like, okay, getting these young ladies when they're younger, and kinda it's almost like building that foundation for when they do grow up and they have those leadership in the home.
Yes. So I believe you can learn at any age. I start teaching my young baby at 5 years old. So I always tell people from the time that you are learning how to talk, you're able to be taught. So the younger generation, they're sponges. It's so important to catch them at that age gap where they're able to consume information. So once they're able to consume information and take it in, that's when you can start teaching them how to appropriately dress as a young lady, teaching them confidence, teaching them to love themselves and put themselves first. Most importantly, teaching them about God. That's what I tend to do at home. So everything that I do at home with my children, I carry it out beyond the home. because it's so, like you said, it's so many young girls that are needing that guidance. They have role models, yes, but are all those role models positive role models?
right?
So it's important for us women to teach that younger generation, to show these ladies how to be respectfully women, how to carry themselves, how to love themselves. I'm so big on pouring back into yourself. I had to learn that even as an adult, because it's easy for us to get lost in society, because society has their own definition of beauty, of success, of whatever. But as a woman of God, true beauty goes deeper than just the outer appearance. So it's
Yes.
important for us to teach that.
Yes. And I feel like it's essential to note that I love you calling out like children are sponges and they, as soon as they can start talking back, they can start listening,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But I feel sometimes we think they're not listening or they are not watching, but they really are.
They are. Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like you said, when we think they're not watching, that's why it's so important as adults to make sure you're saying the right things, not doing the wrong things, because they are. And I know, like, one day I see my daughter say something that I said a while back. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think she heard that. So there, you just have to always just be mindful of what you do and how you carry yourself in the conversations that you involve yourself in around your children or
Yes.
around any young child.
Yes. Okay, so I wanna take it back when you were kinda telling how All Girls in One started, and you went to God and you asked him, "This is the problem I see, how can I be a solution to it?" How did you know, Terry, what his answer was? How did you know that that was from God and that was what he was telling you to do?
Well, I had confirmation. So during the time that he gave me the vision, of course, life got in the way, so I didn't start it. And one night, because God always come to us when we're sleeping, because that's when our flesh is kind of subdued and we're able to hear God.
At 3
So
AM.
at
He likes
3
to
a.m.,
wake me
yes,
up at 3.
it's
Yep.
always 3 a.m. So during the time I wanted this thing to take off, God was like, no, no. And I think, matter of fact, I know that I had to go through certain things in my life in order for me to grow and become the person that I am today so that I can be a blessing to somebody else. So it's just the things that I went through, and God would always really, it's gonna be okay. Just follow my steps. It's like a handbook. God gave me a handbook, and I had to just make sure I stuck to that on my journey, because this is actually my journey too. That's what I tell people. It's a journey for me. It's a healing journey for me. So it's just confirmation from friends, you know, my mother, and every time I would speak of it, they would get so excited. And God started using other people to come to me and say, yes, you're ready. You're ready. So that's how I knew.
Yeah, I love that. I was just gonna say that reminds me of, have you gotten the chance to meet Nancy Major? She's part of Few, but out in Milwaukee with founder Kimberly Joy, wrote this fantastic book. I think she's come to Atlanta maybe once or twice, but uh, she wrote a book, A Wretch Like Me. It's fantastic. You should grab it and read it. Amazing story. But I had her on the podcast maybe about a year ago now, and we were kind of
Mhm.
talking along the same thing of when you're going to God and you're asking Him a question, and sometimes it feels like the answer isn't coming as fast as we would like it to. He always
Yeah.
answers. We just want it now. But she said something that really encouraged me, which is take the next best step. Like take the whatever step out in faith, whatever the next step is that you feel like he's leading you to. And she said, if you misinterpreted that or you heard incorrectly or you stepped out on your own when it wasn't time, he will correct you like that. Like it will be so very quickly where he will just
Absolutely.
recorrect and redirect. And I just thought, wow, that is
Ab-
so encouraging because I feel like sometimes we just get stuck and then we don't do anything. And then the
yeah.
dream that he gave us just kind of sits out in outer space forever.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love
And
that.
read one day because I have this book, I have it at home. It's a book, it's devotionals for specifically for women. And
Yeah,
it talks about dreaming and dreaming, not just dreaming, but dreaming big. God dreams for us as well. So when you have, the heart of Jesus Christ, you're able to dream along with him. And I was always told when God has something for you, is for you.
that's true.
So that's what I always keep in my mind because I nervous at first to bed and surprisingly, I wasn't nervous at all. God assured me that it's gonna be okay. I'm holding your hand every step of the way, and it was.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I love that. That's so true. And nothing we can do will mess it up. We can certainly delay it. But, you're right. If it's a dream, if it is
absolutely.
something that he has for
Yeah,
us, we'll be there. Okay, so tell us specifically a little bit about what you do
absolutely.
with All Girls in One, because I know I kinda noted community engagement, and then you have the Big Sis mentor program. So kinda walk us through what you do with the organization.
Particular thing that I offer is, like you said, the big sis. And I came up with big sis because a lot of times, like me and, different people, I was like, hey sis, how many times I said that? So I was like, why not big sis? What that is these they have mothers. So we're not trying to take the place of your mother, but what I'm trying to do is just be a guide, be a resource to that young lady. So if she feels uncomfortable with us can get very challenged young adult is there to take that place of a big sis and kind of guide them through life with whatever they need. And the other one is just getting involved with the community. So what I do is I will host certain events, host some workshops, will teach self-love, self-respect, and also never to learn. The world is always evolving. So we need to kind of keep up. So I'm big on that. So instilling the value of knowledge and education is very important to me and to instill it into a younger adult or it will help them in life. Because I feel as though once you have education, nobody take that away.
Right.
And it's power in education.
Yeah, that's so true. And then what is the process of like if someone wants to get involved, right? Because like being a big sis kind of sounds pretty awesome to me. Because I don't have any brothers or sisters. So being a big sis sounds really cool to me. How does someone get involved? Like, what is the process?
So the process is you just log onto the website, www.allgirlsinone with two O's. There's a place that says subscribe. You'll just put in your information, what brought you to the website, and what program you're interested in. You submit that, and then will receive an email, and I will reach out to you.
Awesome. So is there like a minimum commitment that someone signs up to? Like if I'm a big sis, what does that mean? Like kind of what would be my I don't want to say job because it's not really job, but what would I do?
So you would anytime I would host a workshop, you would be present. And anytime there, if I'm out in the community or out in the schools, then you would come along and you would be that mentorship to that young girl.
Awesome. Okay.
Yes,
That sounds super cool, super fun.
absolutely. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. I wanted all girls and one to kind of be like on the fun side too, not all super, super serious.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit more about Terry because I love you. And we're like,
Oh, I love you too.
when we get together, we just jive. And I know your mom,
Yes.
she needs to come on too.
I know, right?
Okay.
Imma talk to her.
Please do. I'm gonna and tell her I'm gonna email her.
I sure will.
And, we talk about same thing, just being women of faith and our wonderful husbands. So shout out to our wonderful husbands because we do
Absolutely. Woo-hoo.
talk about you all the time and give you kudos and your support of us and our businesses and all that we do. How do you feel like how does Terry see herself showing up in those relationships and that impact of having that support system, right? Because even for those who maybe they're not born into that support system, you can have a mother that's not biologically yours. You can just like the big sis program, you can have a sister that's not biologically your sister, right? So you can still get that inspiration and that feeding into from outside sources, and I would just love to hear how you feel like that not only impacts your life, but how you show up, right? Because I even feel like my husband, like knowing that he is my best blessing from God and just the way he pours into me and the way he prays over me, that changes how I show up in the world. It changes how I show up in my business. I feel like it changes how I show up for other women, so I would just love to hear your thoughts on that.
Absolutely. So, with me, I'm a mama's girl anyway. Like my mom is my best friend, but most importantly, she is my number one advocate. So the way that I show up, because as women, we have a lot of responsibilities to our children, to our husband, to our parents, grandparents. So I show up by just making sure you're okay. You know, even if it's just one simple word, good morning. So I just want to make sure that I'm always showing up for them because they show up for me. And the way that my mother, she plays a big influential part in my life because like I stated earlier, when I was younger, I mean, I went through bullying. I got bullied for certain things and she would always be there Jimmy saying it, baby,
Mhm,
it's gonna be okay. Gonna be okay. Look at yourself in the mirror and it's just pour into yourself. So I have a village. I have a village that I'm surrounded by, and they're always there for me in some type of way. And I seen that. So that's what I do. I just make sure I'm always there. Even if I'm just there but silent.
mm,
I'm just making sure that I'm showing up, and I also have to show up for me so that I can show up for somebody else.
mm.
So, yeah, so, I mean, even if it's just a phone call and you need to vent, that's me showing up. That's just me being a listening ear.
I love that. It's like just that presence, and sometimes that's all we need is just you're right, someone to just
Absolutely.
listen.
Yeah, because we go through things in life, and some of us, we're here to give the victory. Some of us don't make it because they didn't have that person to show up for them.
Yeah. And your answer may be along the same lines, but given that, what do you see and just your work with these young ladies, what do you see as the biggest challenge that they face in today's world? Like, what's the biggest thing coming against them?
I would say acceptance. Yeah. I'm not really big on social media. I'll kind of like go on there like when I'm bored. But what I see on social media and when I was in the school system, you would see all these young girls dressing like women. I mean, it blew my mind. And they dress like that not only because that's what they sell, but they see somebody that's dressed in the same way. They see the attention that they're getting, so they're like, "Let me dress like this." You don't you don't have to dress like that to get shown attention. I always feel like there's somebody for you, and
Mm,
if that person is not for you, then so be it. So be it. The only acceptance that you need to value is acceptance from God. And when you have acceptance from God, you're gonna move boldly. You're gonna be okay.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like I see and I mentioned this on a prior show of just the thing that's been most shocking to me, not having children of my own right now in this moment, but serving in the middle school ministry has just it feels like it's really hard to be a kid today. I don't remember struggling so much with it when I was that young, right? But I mean,
Right.
it's and I just even see the altering of the appearance. Feels like it's so much younger. Now, I remember I used to straighten my hair. That started in high school because I was the only chick with curly hair, it was frizzy, I couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to do, and then I did cheerleading and everybody else had those, like, beautiful, voluptuous ponytails with, like, the curls, and mine was just, like, this glob of fuzz, and so I wanted to change it, and then I finally got in college, and I learned how to work with my natural hair, but, I mean, I see it just feels, like, so young to me of the nails and lashes and this and that, and I'm like, "Gosh, it's just so young." I kinda wanna, reach out to each young girl and just hug them and be like, "You're beautiful
You're
without all that, like, you
beautiful.
don't have."
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. It takes away from their essence.
Yes.
My little girl is 5. She has her own, I mean, she's just wonderful. She has her own mindset. She marches to the beat of her own drum.
I love it.
And she, I look at her and I'm like, oh my gosh, I used to be the same way when I was younger. They used to call me Punky Brewster because because I would literally just whatever I thought appealed to me, I would wear it. And I mean, it was sometimes it was tacky, but my mother let me be me
Yeah.
because and be a child. And it's the same with my daughter. She wanted to wear a dress and some tights and I just let her be a child
Yeah.
because unfortunately in this world we have predators. So I don't want to put her in that position because it just people are looking at her not in the way that I'm looking at her. I just don't want to put her in that predicament.
Yeah. Gosh, that's so hard. And that's a lot for parents to have to think about these days too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not
Tara
easy being a parent.
yeah, no, it honestly seems like the most, like, scary job ever.
Yes.
Well, Terry, I was called Q-tip for my hair, so there you go.
Well, I would say I love your hair. Like, I
I mean,
always
I
wanted
do
to
now, but in middle school, it was something else. So
funny.
there you go. It's you know what? Sometimes it's the thing that we dislike most about ourselves that it's just that part of our little unique edge that God's like, well, one day you're going to learn to appreciate it, right? You just got to give it a
Absolutely.
little bit of time.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's too funny. So, Terry, I ask all of my guests this. It's really the foundation and the name behind the show, but I name each one kind of something I take away from the show that I want to live to be, to live up to. So, what is that for Terry? What does Terry want to live to be? What does Terry want to be known for?
So, I just wanna be known for the good that I poured into my community. I know that people won't necessarily remember my face, but they will remember all the positive impact that I poured into my community, into my children, into my family, so that's what I would like to be remembered for.
Yeah. What's the is it oh gosh, I don't wanna misquote, and I don't wanna misquote the person. I think Maya Angelou said, "People will forget what you say, but they will remember how you make them feel."
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Um, yeah, I feel
Mhm.
well, I will tell you, for me, I mean, you just always make me feel just excited
Oh,
and encouraged, and just when I leave your presence, I'm like I feel energized.
yeah.
So, I'm sure that that's what you do for those young women and
Yeah.
all girls in one as well.
Yes. I wanna give hope because, of course, as an individual, I've had my trials and tribulations that I went through, and the hope that I had got me where I am today. So I want to be an inspiration and I want to give young ladies hope.
That's so good. If people wanna get involved and they wanna volunteer, or even if there's a parent listening and they wanna get their young daughter involved, how do they do that? How do they find you, Terry?
Absolutely. So I am on Instagram. The name is All Girls in One. You can find me there and you can follow me because I post a lot of material on there on how to get connected with me. You can also log on to the website, www.allgirlsinone.com. And also, you can call me directly as well
Awesome.
if you would like to get involved.
Well, thank you so much for coming
You're
on and just
welcome, my friend.
spreading your hope and positivity.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what it's all about.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and I'm certainly glad that God's crossed our paths and that we met through
Absolutely.
you, so
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me.
of course.